following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome here to the big broadcast. I'm your host, Larry Pierce, here for your Piney Area Coaching Show. I know we got a couple of great coaches on the way, and I don't like hearing my own voice, but I'm going to turn myself down there. So I hope everybody's doing good, and let's get this recorded here so we can use some of this stuff for our pregame. Is we got a big game coming up on Friday night, and we're going to head over to San Augustine for West Sabine and San Augustine coming up here this Friday night. Should be a good one. We were in San Augustine the other night. They got their first win against Price Carlisle. And I think that, let's see, Price Carlisle is going to be hosting Shelbyville coming up here in a couple weeks, and we'll have that on NSN, but it'll be a different crew, but it'll definitely be on there for sure. So let's start off what we did last week. And last week we started off in Timpson on Tuesday, of course, after our coach show here. Started off in Timpson on Tuesday. Coach Bell rose down there and his squad and the ladies, Lady Bears, and he said, we just didn't play our best, Larry. And I said, well, I can understand it. I had one of the parents who's a good friend of mine that she said, that she thinks that the girls could have played better too. But, hey, it's okay. Well, sometimes those kind of games happen. And plus, they were playing a very, very good team in Grace Community there out of Tyler. And it was just a great team that they were playing. So, not a bad loss there right there. They're getting ready for districts coming up here. I think it's going to actually start tomorrow, as where most of the things are getting on tomorrow. So tomorrow, actually, it'll be Carlisle. Price Carlisle's coming over to Shelbyville. So we'll be over there for Shelbyville. Coach Rupp and her squad ready to go. They've been rolling along really pretty good here in their district and thing moving up too. So we're going to be covering Shelbyville the next couple of weeks, as we'll have Carlisle, Shelbyville, and then next Tuesday be San Augustine at Shelbyville, and then Garrison at Timpson, and then Groveton at San Augustine. Then we'll have a couple games in Center that are coming up there as well. So stay with us as we get ready for those Tuesday night area volleyball games here. And we're at the pizzeria and having one of those awesome pizzas coming in here. We're just now getting another big old pepperoni delivered right here as we're going to get a couple of coaches coming in here in just a bit. So come on down here to the pizzeria and enjoy the show. Come on and get yourself through the drive-through. They also have an adult beverage area back there too. If you want to sit back and watch the game, have a nice cold one with your pizza, and watch the game coming up here as Monday Night Football on the way. We'll definitely talk a little bit about some NFL football coming up here too, because Coach Barnes, he's a Bears fan, and I'm a Texans fan, so we may have to talk a little bit about that game last night. It was a pretty good one. So anyway, but we got a lot of great things that went on over the last week. Like I said, we started off there in Timpson as Coach Belrose and his squad. They just did not have the night that he thought they should have had over there. So. They're getting them ready, but that was a tough squad that they played over there, just like I said. So they'll be ready to roll on their next match up there, as sure they were on Friday. And they're playing every Tuesday and Friday now as we get ready to roll. So we're getting into the district part of the season are the volleyball squads. And covering here for Shelbyville, we covered for St. Augustine. We got some Center as well as Timpson. So we'll be covering those teams as we get ready to roll. And once we roll into these playoffs, we're going to try to catch off some of those too. But that'll be about the same time that the football playoffs are going to be starting on it there too. So we'll see how that comes around, but we'll do what we can to cover as much of that as we roll into the playoff time and get into the basketball season. Now, we are going to be covering some basketball this year. We will be covering some of the tournament games that's going on too. And one of the big tournaments that we're really looking forward to covering is the Holiday Hoops tournament. Now, we're looking to cover all 3 days, but right now I'm pretty sure we can at least get the last 2 days covered up there. But we're going to see exactly how far we can go with that Holiday Hoops tournament. And as Shires is in here, and he's going to talk a little bit about that.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, Pierce, that I'm going to Hawaii
You're going to Hawaii
between right after Christmas and New Year's.
So you
But
missed the whole thing?
No, because I purposely scheduled my trip to. We're not leaving until the Hollywood
until after.
it's after the Holiday Hoops tournament's over.
You didn't tell Miss Laura that though, did you?
So I let her pick the day. It was just accidental.
It was accidental. There you go.
Woo, so I will be So I will be here. We will be here. I'm really looking forward to it. That thing has turned into something pretty big.
It has turned into something really big, and I talked to Coach Lewis not long ago, a couple weeks ago. Of course, we're going to be talking to them as we'll be in Tenaha. We'll be there on Saturday. It'll be their homecoming and see if they can get a win here this year. But you're not going to be there for that. But we're going to probably get Watlington over there for that.
Yeah,
you got one of our favorite people, Miss Scarlett. How old is Miss Scarlett turning now?
She will be
22?
24.
24?
24.
Wow. Now, in case you didn't know, Miss Scarlett was with us probably last year when she really came on, taught us a lot about all this stuff and how it works. And and then she moved off to Austin on us, so she was a really good
Well,
producer for you
for
guys.
for a long time,
Hmm.
she was an executive producer of the radio show.
Right.
She had major jobs. She would run things down to me to the sideline.
Hmm.
Her primary job was to get the cold Dr. Peppers distributed to Chris Watlington and
Right.
Rob Payne.
There you go.
She did that, but and then she got into high school, and then she and Keaton would give the band report. And
Right.
then she graduated from college, came back. She had a few months where she was here, and so yes, I mean when so folks go back and look at the games where the scoreboard was run flawlessly.
Right.
That's because it was Scarlett doing it.
Scarlett doing it. There we go.
All right, we got us a coach. Looks like
Oh yeah,
showing
Coach
up.
Barnes is coming in here. We're going to let him get him some pizza and get him something to drink here, right here. And but I want to talk with so we can get a couple of things rolling on and get him settled in. But yeah, we've got a whole lot here so far, and I just want to say thank you to everybody out there in the NetSN world because we've got a lot more subscribers. We're getting to some more schools and some things are going out there as well. Covering the volleyball games too. That's turned out to be really, really good for us and for the schools and the girls and everything too. So it's been a lot of fun starting off this year. And I mean, like I said, we've got a lot going. The Holiday Hoops tournament that's going to be coming up, and then all kinds of. And then another thing too, I saw something. I don't know. I want to ask Coach Meeks about it a little bit because I'm pretty sure that Chris Doug will be here tonight. But I seen that they were getting a little closer on that activity center. I saw some video come out about that today. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do some volleyball around the 15th down there. So maybe that'll be the time we get to be in that new gym over there. But you said that there really is a little place for you guys to set up over there.
Yes. Yes,
Was
we've
that
been in negotiations.
worked that into the deal?
That's right. I slipped the architect a couple of Benjamins to build us a little spot in there.
There you go. Before we get to talk to coach and everything, I know that you're a Cowboys fan, and yesterday was kind of rough for you guys, man, and I understand. I mean, I didn't even send out any texts. I was just like, that was a hard one for the Cowboys fans to take yesterday. I don't know if it was just the Cowboys, because I was just kind of watching back and forth. I was red zoning it and a couple other things, but I don't know if it was just the Saints were just much better because Kamara was just like, here, let me just run all over you guys.
Well, they did that against Carolina, and so everybody was like, "Well, that's Carolina."
Yeah.
Well, we'll see the Cowboys, but well, two things. Number one, I don't know that I could be here today because I'd be in bed sick. Except on Saturday night, the greatest nephew, the most famous nephew of all time, came out and lit up the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners. We knew what I'm talking about. We know we're talking about Arch Manning, baby. And so we are number one.
The Roadrunners, huh?
Right.
Well, you guys are rock and rolling.
We're number one.
Oh, did they move you up to number one? I figured they were going to. I figured they were going to, but
I mean, just goes to show. Ewers is still the man.
Yeah.
Ewers, in my opinion, is still the man.
No.
He's going to come back, but if he goes down, we don't miss a beat. First pass from Arch was a touchdown. Second series, he runs a quarterback keeper and goes 70 yards for a touchdown.
Right.
So because of that, I can function today. But the Cowboys took one on the chin. But your Texans look great.
Texans look good, and like I said, I know Coach Barnes, my good friend over there. He's a Bears fan, so I don't want to.
Well, that was tough.
I rode that just a little bit over there.
So my neighbor down where I live is a Bears fan. He's retired to the lake from he worked for Caterpillar from Peoria, Illinois. It's Bob Hall, the greatest neighbor in the history of neighbors. But he and his late wife, huge Bear fans.
Right.
Huge Bear fans. Matter of fact, he went to college at the University of Illinois when Dick Butkus was there.
Oh, nice.
And he said Butkus was what you saw is what Butkus was.
There you go.
Yeah. So it was a little bit exciting. But the Bears they are on the launching pad and getting ready. It may be another year or so, but I mean they've got the makings.
Yeah, they look good. Like I said, Caleb Williams, you got to give him a little time there, and hopefully he can pull this thing together, and they can get him right. But hey, with DJ Moore there, he's a great receiver too, and they got a pretty good defense there, Montez Sweat there, so they're going to be all right. But I was happy. And my dad, my father was a big Chicago Bears fan, so I know he was up in heaven, feeling hard last night. But that's all right.
So,
But it was good football over the weekend. My Aggies won, and hey, there may be a quarterback controversy there for my Aggies too. I like that. That was kind of interesting. I was like,
yeah.
man, we need this right here.
Well, I don't. All I
I
know is,
liked that right there.
well,
I
I
did.
don't like it because the other guy, he's a stinker. I mean, I kind of
You
want him in
want
there.
him in there
Yeah,
for the big game. That's what it
right.
is. You
That's
know.
right.
But I think my Aggies may have found something there. And another thing too is Mr. Bussey getting to play some time.
Well,
Got
I
himself a
predicted.
quarterback. He got himself a touchdown
Yeah,
and all kinds of stuff there. So liking to see
yeah.
Mr. Terry, man.
That's
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 pretty
right.
good.
That was exciting when you posted that on the WSSP Facebook page
Right,
with
right.
Bussey's big touchdown. That was a nice run.
Yeah, it was nice for him to do that there. So that's good to see that, and everybody keeping up with him too. And and unfortunately, them old Bears they took a one on the chin this weekend too, man. And but that's all right. Them Bears gonna be out. They ran into a very good team in
Yes.
Palestine Westwood there. So we'll talk about all that other stuff coming up. But I tell you what, we're gonna all that going on right now. We'll talk more about everything too because we got things. But let's get Coach over here. I'll take a quick break. We'll get Coach over here and we'll talk some San Augustine ball because we're gonna be back down there again this week, and we'll find out what's going on there with the Wolves. We'll be right back here on Net as in.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkinville. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
At Hope Community Medicine, they believe that more than medicine is needed when providing quality care for their patients. With locations throughout East Texas, the vision is to give hope to those who seek a better life by caring for their body, mind, and soul, and not about their ability to pay. Through the network of staff and locations, Hope seeks to be primary provider of medical, dental, and behavioral health. Because the difference that Hope makes is the difference between night and day. Community Health.
Hey, y'all got a dirty truck.
Well, then take it to Joe's Car Spa for a spa day.
At Joe's, they make 'em shine.
And they're standing by to work with the community.
They was elected best of Shelby County this year, and it's called Joe's, but it probably ought to be called Reed since Reed Grant owns it.
So, Billy Don, when it's time for your car or truck to have a spa day, where do you...
Now,
The rich tradition of Farmer State Bank. In 1904, a handful of investors put up $25,000. From that initial investment, imagine the generations of lives that have been touched by Farmer State Bank. Aurora Concepts, Primary Care Center, and just behind it, Medical Specialist Center, is a team supervised by Dr. Jane Todd and led by Don Barnes. They're professionals. They provide good family care to everyone in the family. They're also your center for testing and vaccinations. When there's something wrong and you don't know what, call Aurora Concepts.
All righty, folks, welcome back here to the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. And Coach, I hate to bother you with your pizza eating there, right? So give you some time to get there. But folks, just in case you didn't know, we were last Friday night. We were took on Price Carlisle, and the Wolves were able to get their first win the other night. Looked very impressive there. And Coach, you did some personnel switching up a couple later in the game there. Still had some good job there with the quarterback. But I think you started off with Renfro, and then we ended up there with Robinson, and was that something you guys planned to do? But I mean, both guys did really, really well. I think Robinson had a good job. I think you were trying to get Renfro out there so he could catch some passes, though, right?
Well, no, I mean Renfro right now is our quarterback,
Right.
and so with Cartwright being out, and so us being up 40 points at that point, I just felt to get him out, we didn't need to risk injury to him, and so it was a good opportunity to get JD some game reps, and so that's all that we were really doing.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's good because he did really look really well out there too. He ran the offense very well for you guys. So But as we always do, because I saw some serious hitting going on out there, Coach, the other night. And I mean, how are the guys? I mean, because I mean, both sides were laying some wood out there the other night.
Oh, we're good. I mean, we know every Monday,
Right.
but everybody's healthy, and getting prepared for the West Sabine Tigers.
Right. Well, the one I have to ask you about because Andrew Nash took one heck of a hit. I mean, when his helmet went flying like 15 yards, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was a heck of a smack, but he got up and was walking okay. But I mean, I hope he's all right 'cause we need him to run the ball.
He's good. He's a tough kid. Checked out fine on by the trainer, and trainer said he was good. We just didn't want to risk putting him back in at that point. But he was back in practice and back at it today. So, like I say, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, he definitely is because that was one heck of a hit that he definitely took out there the other night. But there was some good hitting going on, and a good game and a good win by the team too. There, Coach. I mean, the guys came out. They played very well. I thought the offense was very explosive. The offensive line was getting off the ball. They were getting off their blocks. They were getting secondary blocks out there too. So I thought I'd start there with just watching the big guys up front. I thought they did an excellent job making sure that the lanes were there to run for everybody out there the other night.
Yeah, this is probably the best job our O line has done in a long time, and we still missed several blocking assignments. Don't get me wrong, still something that we can improve on. But we ran for over 300 and something yards, and so anytime that you can run for that many yards, keep the clock moving and getting first downs, that's always a good thing. If you can dominate the line of scrimmage, you're gonna win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, I definitely thought we did. And then also giving Renfro and even Robinson, when he was back there, plenty of time to pass the ball, move around, make some good decisions. We were able to get some good dump off passes outside. We were out there we were getting to the edge out there and turning the edge really, really well. So all in all, that was a good offensive output all over. I mean, putting up the points and everything. I think we had 8 drives in that first half and one turnover goal, which three field goals really, and you kept moving it back and forth. But I mean, it was really good first half, and you guys, the Wolves really pretty much took it over there in the first half.
Yeah, we did. Only thing that I really wasn't glad about is the second drive. We get down inside the 10 and we stall. Those type of drives we have to capitalize on, especially against really good football teams. And so we've kind of talked about that, and it's almost like we got down there and we just relaxed. And we got to really understand when we get down there, we got to punch it in and get points.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, because there was a couple of times whenever just, I seen the Wolves, they kind of get that penalty too. That penalty was just kind of putting you guys back a couple of times. And, those penalties added up at the end of the night too, because there was quite a few, probably more than what you wanted to have.
Yeah, I think it was. Of course, every coach wants to have zero penalties.
Right.
And so our goal is to have six or less penalties. I don't think we actually had over six. Um,
I had 6 of them. I think it was
Six,
six
yeah,
is what it was.
yeah.
Six
So
was
I don't
about
think we
45.
had over six, and so that's our goal to always have six or less. And so we kind of stayed at that point. Our goal is to be really zero,
Mm-hmm.
but as long as we don't have more than six, I can live with that. And it's really the costly penalties, the penalties that you have on big plays, or you get third and short, and it puts you back behind the chain. Those are the penalties that really hurt. And so and really the pre-snap penalties. I can take the holdings. The
Right.
holdings a lot of times are effort penalties,
Mm-hmm.
but the pre-snaps, the not lining up right, the offsides, those things are things that you can't have.
Right, and I think the one too is I didn't see that we didn't have an offsides by one of the receivers because sometimes you get that's the one thing that drive a coach crazy is whenever receivers you're looking right down the ball and you get offsides. So I know that could drive you crazy. So I think that was good for you guys there too. But yeah, a good offensive plan. I mean, you had a good well balanced attack, try to throw the ball a little bit, but you wanted to come out and run the ball, and that's really what you did. And I mean, like I said, Nash, I think I had him for close to 200 yards through the end of the night. And then, but even got Burrell in there to run a little bit, and just all kinds of just different people that were getting the opportunity to run the ball.
Well, a lot of times, what people don't understand is injuries give other people opportunities, and not only opportunities, but it gives your team an opportunity to grow.
Right.
And so now with having Cartwright out and Renfro out, that's giving some other guys some opportunities to get quality reps. And so all that does is add to your depth when your people do come back. And so, Carrick running the ball. Is T.I. Burrell playing the slot. I mean, he had a good run on the jet for like 18, 19 yards. And so we're just steadily adding depth. And once we get everybody back, that's important. I think we had Jalen Mosby scored.
Yep.
Um, Jalen scored.
Jalen.
Andrew scored. Jaden Clifton scored. So I think we had 4 or 5 people to score. And so
Yeah.
anytime you can spread the ball around like that, it makes you harder to defend because I mean you have to pick your poison as a defense.
Yeah, he had a couple of let's see, 4 rushing and then two passing touchdowns. I think that was right.
hmm
So yeah, I mean spread around. I mean I think it was
And Michael Renfro scored also.
right.
So I mean,
Yeah,
so
so everybody was in there getting a little piece of it too. And I mean, Carlisle, we knew that there was going to be, they're a young team coming in here, but they fought tooth and nail all the way to the end of it. I mean, 18 points there at the end, and I kind of saw it there at the end too. Sometimes I've seen in the last few years here some of those special teams that was kind of not covering the ball like they should there, and they probably shouldn't have had late touchdowns there as well.
yeah, I mean, and like I say, we practice special teams sometime twice a week, and I mean, it's a matter of sometime you try to put guys out there so you can get your better players rest,
Right.
and then sometimes that bites you in the butt. And so we just got to get better. We got to rep it more. We got to get better at it, and the more we do it, the better we'll get. I promise you, we'll be better next week at it.
Well, yeah, I can believe that because I mean, every time I've seen something like that, I know that the next week I've come out because I've called many of you guys' games, come out and just seen some better discipline out there by the team all the way around. So, but you guys got a big one coming up here on Friday night, and it's West Sabine coming in, and moved it to St. Augustine from West Sabine. Sabine's coming in here. They're riding pretty high. They've got a good solid squad out there. They're ready to go. And the Wolves, building that thing up here too. So this is going to be like a clash of these two teams because every team it seems like every 2 years or every year that you guys play, it's always a big game.
It is. For our kids, it's a rivalry, and for a lot of our fans, it's a rivalry also. We got a lot of people that work at Georgia Pacific, which is at Pineland, and so
Right?
you have a lot of money going around betting on the game. But it's always fun to play against Coach Bragg and his staff. His kids always play really hard. Um, the last 2 years we've jumped out on them in the first half, and then they've come back in the second half, and it's been a tale of two half the game the last 2 years, and so we can go and put together 4 quarters this year and be able to come out with a win.
Yeah, and Coach Bragg too. In the West of B Tigers, they moved down to the Division two there out there, and then to a different division away from what you call the District of Doom last week. There, I can believe it. So does that kind of help them in a way at all? I mean, they got some tough teams in there. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, they still got a pretty good district to go through.
Does it help them? Of course it does. Now you don't have to face us. You don't have to face Timpson. You don't have to face Walkeen every week. You don't have to face Shelbyville.
Mhm.
Now you can go in and really they probably play their district championship game the week after us. They play Deweyville.
Yeah.
And that's probably their district championship game, to be honest. And whoever wins that game probably wins that district. And so, of course, dropping down, it helps them tremendously.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, because they're coming in here and they got good expectations because they've got these team that is they've been building this guy the team just like I said in Augustine, they're building from the ground up for the junior high kids and they've been in there and they got good seniors returning guys coming back and they've been in that program and that system and I don't want to say perfection, but they run it really well. And you just got to make sure this is one of those teams where you got to make sure you on the defensive side you have to kind of stay home a little bit and watch it a little bit instead of just jumping out there on the first reaction sometimes.
Well, the biggest thing is you got to be physical up front. They got 2 or 3 linemen that's really physical up front, and we have to match their physicality. Not only that, you have to tackle well, because they're gonna keep coming at you. If they can get 2 or 3 yards, they're happy with it. And if we get 2 or 3 yards, they'll turn around and run the same play again and get 2 or 3 yards. And so, you just have to be consistently physical, and
Right.
that's what I'm telling the kids this week. We have to consistently be physical. That's play after play. You line up your physical this play, you line up the next play. We have to be just as physical. And so, if we can match their physicality play for play, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, because it's not going to be easy up front there. Because I mean, if you look at the paper, I mean, it's pretty even there up front. The weight room earlier, and who's been in there longest? Because it's going to come down to late in the fourth quarter. Who's going to be still standing tall and who's still going to be breathing? Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to come down to a trench war, if you ask me.
No doubt about it. And I think, the strength of our team right now may be our defensive line. If you watch our defensive line last run, and
Yeah.
so that was what one of the coaches from Carlisle. He said, "Coach, those three." So they are the strength of our defense for sure, maybe the strength of our team. And so, hopefully we can go and be dominant up front like we were last week.
So even though that you got the three, sticking that 3-man front up there, even with the good running game that Sabine could throw at you.
We'll see.
We'll see. Might have to switch it up just a little bit here and there, huh?
We'll see.
Might load that box up there a little bit because they did have a good running back there in Price Carlisle too. But just like the Wolves, with a good plethora of running backs, that's what the West Sabina and the Tigers have there too. So yeah, like I said, they're going to be trying to run it downhill all day long. Your backers going to have to come up, and you can't let your secondary can't sit back there and think, oh, they're going to run it all the time because then they're going to try to chunk one because they can throw it too.
They can, and they basically lull you to sleep. And once they lull you to sleep, running scat right and scat, try to pop a big one on you. And so guys in the secondary have to stay awake and read their keys and not allow those big plays. The thing about teams like this is you have to get them behind the chains. First, second down, if you can get them behind the chain and force them into passing situations, then you have them where you want them.
Yeah, it's just not going to be easy by either team to come out here on this one, and it's going to come right down to it, I think, there too. And then, but I mean, does it help you maybe getting to move it to your house? Maybe does it help you maybe a little bit? I don't know because I mean, it's right there. I mean, it's not too far between each other. And it's just like hey, homeland, just maybe having a home field advantage.
I don't think that really matters. When you're playing a rivalry game,
Right.
home field advantage really doesn't matter. They're gonna bring just as many fans here as they would have there. If we were going there, we would probably bring just as many fans to their house as we would have at home. And so home for many bus rides, so it's not like you're getting bus lag. So
Right.
those things really don't matter. It's a matter of when it becomes game time at 7 o'clock, who's gonna be the most physical, make the least amount of mistakes, and be able to play for 4 quarters.
7 or 7:30.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Okay, so I'm gonna put that because last week it was 7:30. And yeah, so okay, I'll make sure I get my stuff in there right. We're getting it good. All right, Coach. Well, I know that's going to be a lot of fun, but I do want to ask you, about Cartwright and Renfro. These are two key pieces to the Wolves season this year too. But I know that they got to be getting close to getting back because I know you really like to see those two young men. I know I'd like to see them just for the watch these two young men play because I know what they can do.
Oh yeah, they are. They could possibly have Cartwright back this week. Hopefully, Renfro goes to the doctor this week, so hopefully, we'll get him casted up here pretty soon, and he'll be back with us. And so, it's exciting seeing some of the pieces come back and what we thought we would have at the beginning of the year start to really come together and see all of those pieces gel. And so, it's gonna be fun going forward. We we're gonna be it's gonna be fun. I told the guys last week that we got an opportunity to win 8 games in a row, but it started with one, and it started with that one last week. And so the goal this week is to make it win number 2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a long way to haul from right around here, and then next week or two, we're getting ready for the district, and it's well, I tell you, and watching these teams in this district, I don't know. You can flip a coin right now. I think whoever is just going to come down to playing the games, and we're just going to have to see how it goes. But I had to ask you too, Coach. Did you get to see the end of that Wascom Sheffield game? Was that crazy or what? I know Coach Wallace is
Oh
going to come
man,
down here and chat with us, but I mean that was a crazy game.
that was a crazy game, man. But it never surprises me what my nephew can do.
That's right.
I will say he has good bloodline.
Yeah. That right there. That is true.
And so, man, that kid is amazing.
Yeah.
He really is, and not to take anything away from the other players on Shelbyville team. They all play extremely hard. The kid that made the play at the end of the game scored on us at the end of the game last year. We have those kids playing really hard. He and his staff is doing a tremendous job, and really and honestly, if they got the ball at the end of the game with the opportunity to win, when you got the ball in my nephew's
His hands.
they got a good chance to win.
He is going to make something happen. That is exactly right, and that's what I like to see with him because I got to see him in the basketball season last year. Didn't get to see much of the football, but now getting to watch him play a little bit. And yeah, you told me, and I believe exactly what he said. It's right on too. That's for sure. All right, well, Coach, I'm gonna let you eat some pizza. We're gonna take a break here, and we'll get ready for the other thing. But we're gonna be out there Friday night, 7 o'clock is game time, 7:30 pregame, and we'll be there in San Augustine for West Sabine, San Augustine. It's gonna be what I like to call the slobber knocker in San Augustine coming up Friday night. It looks like it's gonna be beautiful weather too, Coach. But good luck to you and the guys, Coach.
All right.
Hope get you another win there, and the West Sabine Tigers. I know Coach Bragg and those guys are watching. And Coach Bragg, what he does, he can't. So he has the guys at his place for pizza and food. He feeds those guys. I don't know what he's thinking. That's probably cost his wife a lot of money right there. But then he also said he's getting ready for you guys too.
That's right.
Yeah, we appreciate the West Sabine Tigers. We appreciate you guys. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back here in the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show with more about what's going on. And then Rick Meeks Show starts about 7:30 right here at the Pizzeria.
Sparky D's Bargain Store. Who are we? We're an online auction store on Facebook. Find our page on Facebook. There you'll find a post for our weekly auction. If you find an item you like, place your bid and you could be a big winner and save yourself lots of money. We're on Facebook only for our weekly auctions. Check us out on Facebook. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, where we will save you more.
Shelby Savings Bank has a brand new look. They're proud of where they've been, where they came from starting in 1981, but now they're moving forward with locations all over East Texas to serve you. Will Lucas knows that he's standing on the backs of giants that had a vision for the financial future of Shelby County. And he and his staff are taking that future into new directions with things like mobile deposits. It's the same bank, new look. Shelby Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. Then come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. Staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to see why Blake Furniture is the top furniture company in East Texas. Get the lowest prices and discover our easy in-store financing and low payment plans. Plus, get the fastest delivery in East Texas. Get your credit pre-approved online at blakefurniture.com today.
Alrighty, folks, we're back here as we're on the Piney Woods Area Coach Show. Big thank you to Coach Barnes here for stopping by to see us. And I do believe Coach Wallace from Shelbyville is on his way down. And he got a message saying that he was going to. Oh, here you go. Let me.
There we go.
There we go. He got sent a message saying he would be down here just shortly, which is cool because that was a great game there in Shelbyville the other night. I tell you what, yeah, it was a good game. So we'll talk about that one on the way too. But yeah, and like I said too, the game against San Augustine and West Sabine is going to be really, really good. And
yes,
we get a lot of them out there. But
well, we saw West Sabine up close, and personal with
against
Tenaha. Yeah,
they did really, really well there. And we get to go see Tenaha as they have Lyndon Kildare coming to town, and Tenaha's looking to get on the win ways there at their homecoming on Saturday afternoon. We'll be there for that one. And but I tell you, so what Center? I tell you what, folks, if y'all didn't go or didn't get to see the Center game last week against North DeSoto, Louisiana, it was a great game. The Center Rough Riders got the win. And I tell you what, it was a really, really good game.
It was back and forth. It was
all the way through.
One score difference one way or the other until just toward the back end of the fourth quarter, and the Riders able to get a little bit of distance. They went up by 14, and then and just so was able to score quickly. We thought we go down, we drive the ball down, take our time, and just beating them up and score. We go up by, and then they turn around and score on like 3 plays.
Right.
I mean, just a shabam, 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 touchdown.
All right.
And so, but yeah, I mean, it was just a great football game.
Right. And then coming up this week, Dangerfield. And
Yes.
Dangerfield is I don't think that they've been as solid as they have been the last
Well,
couple of years. They're down a little bit. They had a lot of people graduate. They're in that rebuilding stage, I think, this
But
year. But they're still going to be a tough.
They're
tough
to coach about that.
Yeah.
But they're 0-3, but their 3 losses. One is against Texarkana Pleasant Grove.
Wow.
Not many teams get a victory over them.
Right.
Against a resurgent Tatum team, and then they also lost a relatively close game to Gladewater, which is all those schools are bigger schools,
right?
And so I'm not going to write them off. We better show up with our big boy pants on.
Yeah, you better get ready for it. That's for sure. So, but right now, center behind Carthage, and center should be leading. But I mean, no district there. But I mean, they're undefeated. There's Carthage did lose that one game out there, but Carthage bounced back. Of course, you knew they were going to. And I was on a couple of pick'ems last week, and there were some surprises out there too, especially in the 2A. A lot of the teams we cover, a lot of the teams in that top 5, they went down this week, and even Timpson did. They moved down to number 8, but Garrison and Beckville still in. Garrison lost to Anahuac there, and I didn't really feel like if you lose to that team, because I got to see Anahuac the last couple of years. They're a solid school down there, and
historically solid school.
And I mean, losing to that team, being a 2A school, traveling all the way down there, I don't think it should warrant you dropping out of the top 10, but I think that they did there in some places. But I know Beckville's still in there too, and then Shelbyville, they're trying to climb in there, and they got a tough Mount Enterprise that they're going to be taking on, and they're a very solid squad up there too. So the district here that I know that we're getting into: Garrison, Hemp Hill, Joaquin, San Augustine, Shelbyville, and Timpson. It's going to be coming up here, and everything's going to be rocking and rolling here. And Joaquin, like I said, they played Tenaha last week, and they got themselves a good win right there. So another win there for Joaquin. So, the Joaquin Rams, I think a lot of people thought were going to be at the bottom of that there, but as like I was talking to Coach here in this district, that 2A Region 3 District 11 is. It could go all kinds of different ways, especially right now. And that's what I like about it, too. We're going to cover a lot of these teams and a lot of the games and, just covering like this week. And I know that you're going to try to go with us, too, because we're going to get our first look at Timpson on the football field coming up on the 26th, which is a Thursday.
Yeah.
That's Wolf City. They're going to be in Longview for that one. And then that Friday night, we'll be back in Joaquin. We'll wrap up the month of September, Joaquin, for their homecoming with Corrigan Camden. Right there. So
yet another program that is traditionally very good.
Yeah, very good. So there
some great football games coming our way.
And Corrigan Camden, I think, is one of those teams that the West of Mean's going to have to deal with in their district. They're coming up in that one as well. So, but I tell you what, we got a lot of great things coming up, and I know that we're going to be in Shelbyville for some volleyball. That is tomorrow night, Carlisle, as Carlisle and Shelbyville getting a lot of coverage going on here in NetSN for all the different sports. And so we're going to take a quick break here, and then Coach Wallace from Shelbyville is here. We're going to talk about that exciting game and things coming up, and then we'll get done here, and then we'll get the Rick Meek show going about 7:30. So
about 20 minutes away, but we got a lot of stuff to cover between now and then.
Hey, we need to get Coach Spikes down here and get some volleyball stuff coming down here. That's well too. So all right, so we'll be right back here, folks, at Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, and we're going to have Coach Wallace with us. So stay with us. We'll be right back here on the NetSN.
Sparky D's Bargain Store. Who are we? We're an online auction store on Facebook. Find our page on Facebook. There you'll find a post for our weekly auction. If you find an item you like, place your bid and you could be a big winner and save yourself lots of money. We're on Facebook only for our weekly auctions. We're located in Center, Texas. Check us out on Facebook. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, where we will save you more.
At Hope Community Medicine, they believe that more than medicine is needed when providing quality care for their patients. With locations throughout East Texas, the vision is to give hope to those who seek a better life by caring for their body, mind, and soul, and not about their ability to pay. Through the network of staff and locations, Hope seeks to be primary provider of medical, dental, and behavioral health. Because the difference that Hope makes is the difference between night and day. Hope Community Health. JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk, and there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan, and they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future.
Joaquin Tire in Joaquin, Texas, family owned and operated with new and used tire road services. Jesse and his team is proud to serve the community with car, truck, and commercial mag vehicle tires. They're located in Joaquin at the 84 and Highway 7 split. Call the shop today to make an appointment at 936-269-9516. That's 936-269-9516. Joaquin Tire is a proud sponsor of Game of the Week. Stop in and see them today for all of your new and used tire needs.
All righty, folks. Welcome back here to the Piney Woods Area Coach Show. Join me now is Coach Jared Walsh of the Shelbyville Dragons. Coach, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Awesome and blessed today. Awesome and blessed today. Well, I'll tell you what, I was keeping up with you guys the other night, and then I finally saw some video of everything. But what an exciting game at homecoming for the for the Dragons the other evening, huh?
Yeah, it was really great for the fans. You know, it was tough on us on the sidelines, but the fans got to see a show.
I bet. Yeah, you know, I had some people asking me, you know, if I saw certain things or did heard it. I said, you know, I saw this and I saw that, you know, but what I saw was, you know, the picture. You know, a lot of people are saying that maybe this or that, but it looked like Hunter Harvey had his feet in bounds and everything was good there. So there hasn't been anything else after that.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we got a couple good videos, a couple good clips from some different angles, and you slow it down, pause it, and you see his feet are in the end zone, balls in his hands, and so it was, you know, it was an exciting moment for everybody.
Right. Well, I tell you what, you know that Hunter Harvey is just turned into a great athlete. I mean, you got him listed as an athlete, and as a sophomore, as a young man, I've got to watch him play some baseball, and you know, and he's coming into some football, and boy, he's turned into quite a little player for you, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a kid ever since he was a seventh grader. He works extremely hard. You know, he's not a real big young man, but he's got a big heart, and so you know the things that he's able to do for him, he kind of had to step into a little bit of that role as a freshman. Had to grow up really fast last year, and we had some injuries. He had to play running back for us, and you know, talking to him in the off season, he's about 145 pounds. He's not a big kid, and so it's something we didn't want to do with him is pound him between the tackles all night and be able to put him in space and use his athleticism. He's really accepted that role really well for us on offense, and we're able to move him around, get him in space. He catches the ball downfield really well. You know, he went up and caught a ball over a defensive back earlier in the game, and so the types of plays that he's able to make for us have been really good. But his effort is unbelievable, and we talk about that a lot with several kids, and we have a lot of kids that work hard. But he's one of those guys that's going to give you everything he's got every day, whether he's sick, hurt, tired. It doesn't matter. He's 100% all the time, and you know, you get kids that have success and do the things that you're able to brag about, and it's really because they earn them. You know, those kind of kids, they earn the spotlight and they do the things that it takes to get put in that position, and then they make the most of it. And so he's just one of those kids we're real proud of to have on our team.
Well, I tell you what, too, you say he weighs 145 pounds, but I see some pictures of him with some of the pads that he packs on. He probably puts on another 10 pounds of pads out there, too, which is good. I mean, I did, too, when I played. I love all the pads.
Well,
It gives a chance to hit somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, and you say he weighs 145. He didn't play at 145.
Oh, no.
He's 6 foot tall, 220. If you ask him, you know, he plays. I mean, he plays with an extremely big heart, and so you talk of things. He is a smaller kid, but he puts the shoulder pads and helmets on.
Right.
And he's as big as anybody out there, and that's how he plays. And so I mean, he's an incredible young man.
Right. Yeah, good to have him on the team. You like to have him. He kind of reminds me of another Dylan Parker.
A little bit, you know, he's
Yep.
a little bit different for us in the slot than the outside guy as far as Dylan goes. But he's another kid that plays a lot like Dylan did for us. You know, plays extremely hard and just does whatever we ask him to do.
Right. Well, I tell you too, and you just can't say enough about DJ Barnes and Coach. You know, was talking about that's his nephew there too.
Yeah.
I mean, he just was phenomenal. With the escapability, the getting the ball down the field, and just and I had to quote something that was said by the opposing team's broadcast crew says. He's not Terry Bussey, but he's Terry Bussey-esque. And I can see some of that in there, too, if you want to compare him that way.
Well, you know, I mean, I think you can. I think it's a little unfair of a comparison, in my opinion. I think.
I mean, everybody's their own, but yeah.
DJ is more of a quarterback type player. I think Terry was a really good athlete, and not saying that Terry wasn't a great quarterback or anything like that. But I think DJ, as far as a quarterback goes, his play is a little bit different. He really looks to throw the football first, and we do a lot of things that are complicated, full field reads and different things like that. But
and he got a lot of different looks starting Friday. I mean, we had, moments where the D line, they had 4 or 5 guys spying and D line wasn't rushing. They were mirroring him, making him use his arm and not his legs. And sometimes they would blitz him and he'd have to get out of the pocket and use his legs. And then we ran him 22 times. And yeah, I mean, he's athletic. There's no doubt about it, and you can compare him to a lot of players if you'd like, But he's our DJ Barnes. We're not comparing him to anybody. He's DJ, and so he's going to go out and be himself.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's just phenomenal to watch him play. He gets out there and he plays, and he runs the field well. He's a good field general, and he's got their respect, and he knows what he's doing out there, and he can take care of it. I mean, I have to. Whenever I know you got the offensive out there, but I mean, whenever he's out there, he's got to make that final decision about what's happening out there. He's got that extensive play like what you guys talk about, but he's got to get out there. He's got to see what's up, and then he's got to make that decision whether how.
Doubt, I mean, and he's a great player in that aspect. He doesn't make very many mistakes. He made one mistake Friday night that he'd like to have back, but he does. I mean, we call plays, and it's one thing that we've kind of done with him, and you do it with really good players, great players. You don't overcoach them.
Right.
You let them be who they are, and that's what we do with him. Call plays throughout the week and kind of talk to him, what the defense is going to look like and what we think is going to be available, and go through some film and different things. And when he gets out there on Fridays, he scans the field and understands what he's looking at, and yeah, everything else is on him. Whether he steps up and scrambles or where he sits in the pocket and completes a ball downfield, the thing that it's unbelievable to me, and I mean he's done this ever since he was a freshman. His completion percentage as a quarterback is just unreal. He completed like 62% his freshman year. He was 68% his sophomore year, 71% last year, and he's at like 74, 75% this year completions. And so we talked to him as a freshman, coming up, it's all about throwing a catchable ball. You can show off your arm strength and you can do all those things, but if you let one rip and those guys can't handle it, it doesn't do us a whole lot of good to throw it as hard as you can. And so, it's something that he really grasped a hold of and understood really fast. And again, it goes back to him being just such a great player. Understanding, his personnel, who he's throwing the ball to, how he needs to throw the ball to that guy for him to be able to make the catch. And so his night Friday night was unbelievable. I think he was 17 to 21 for 385 and 3 touchdowns in the air. He carried the ball 22 times for 292 yards and 4 touchdowns. And so there's not much more you can ask a young man to do in a football game than that. And I don't know what that adds up to be, 600 yards, whatever it may be, something crazy. But
And then on top of that, he's on the defensive side
plays
too.
defense too.
That's it too. So yeah, that's phenomenal for him.
And as much as DJ's a great player and you can sit him down and you can talk to him too, he can't do any of that without the guys up front.
Oh, yeah.
The 5 guys up front that we like to talk about, and then the receiving core. I think we had 1 drop Friday night. We threw it 21 times. We had 1 drop. That's not
right. Definitely.
And so it's just a complete team buying into what we're doing. Everybody kind of knows their role and accepts it, and just gets their job done.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that offensive line. I mean, because they were out there for a lot. They had a lot of plays that they had to run the other night too. So and they kept DJ out there, gave him the opportunity, and the running game was going to, gave him time to throw the ball down the field. So I think those guys deserve some hamburgers or something.
Oh, no doubt, and not taking. I mean, the football team we played, and
Wascom is good.
They're really good.
Yeah,
they're really fast. They're really athletic. Their D line was really good. They were really good in the box. It just kind of goes to the night that he had, the player that he is, because it was tough sledding. Like, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy task for him to be able to do what he does. They're very, very athletic, very fast. And so for him to have a night like that against a quality opponent, that was something special.
Definitely was, and then your defense too. They had to step up at certain points out there. They did give up some points out there, but to a good team. But they were there whenever they needed to step up at the right time.
Well, yeah, I think that we get a little unfair shake in that aspect. We had a ball bounce off a receiver for a pick 6, so that's 7 points the defense didn't give up. We had a kick return for a touchdown. That's 14 points right there total that the defense didn't give up. The defense gave up. We talked about this at practice. The defense gives up 7 points in the second half for 19 minutes.
Right.
And then, we're up 14 with 5 minutes left and have an unfortunate fumble at the 1-yard line going in, and they scoop it and run it back out to about the other 45 and have a short field. And those guys were, I had a bad moment for about 4 minutes on the field. and gave up 14 quick ones. And so, if you take the entire game, minus 14 points. I don't know what the math is that fast. 30 something points against the team that we played, and could have been a little bit different. It wasn't, and you can't go back on the woulda, coulda, shouldas.
Right.
But for the most part, our kids played really hard. I think we held them. Their biggest play is dive with the big fullback they got, 215-pound kid, and I think they got around 30 yards on the dive on 10 or 12 carries. And so there's a lot of bright spots. There's some things that we got to improve on, no doubt. But just proud of those kids. And at the end of the night, our goal is to be 1-0. And so look up on the scoreboard, and we have more points than them, and it's something we can be proud of.
Right, too. Sometimes, Coach, the Shelbyville offense could get down there and they put it in the end zone. So your defense is going to be out there a little bit, so that can determine some of that as well.
We do play, a little bit different style than a lot of people at our level. Sometimes we'll tempo. We have several different shot plays that we can go about, and those kids turn around and are right back on defense in 2 minutes sometimes. And so it makes it tough. Again, when you're playing in a team as athletic as Wascom, they got a lot of kids that can run, and so playing in space is really tough against an opponent like that. But I believe in those guys. We work really hard, and I think we're getting better. Got to keep our head down. Our biggest goal, like we talk about, is being 1-0, and that's the thing that we're moving forward to this week. And so just stuff we got to grow, watch film, and get better at.
There you go, Coach. I'll tell you what, it was a very exciting game as they're moving on here. But yeah, you're right. Another tough opponent tonight or Friday night coming up in Mount Enterprise. So what are you expecting from these guys? I mean, they're a good ground and pound ball team as well.
They are, exactly. That's what we're going to get from them. They're going to run the football. They're going to run it right at us, and so we gotta step up and get stops. Coach Ponder's got those guys rolling over there. I think they're a top 10 team in 2A Division II. And so it's not a moment we can take a deep breath after a big win. We got to go back to work and be focused. They got to put up unbelievable numbers last year, and he's done it for the first 3 games this year. And so it's going to be a tall task going into Friday night. It's not a game to where we can go in and think about resting guys or doing anything like that. We got to come to play. It's going to be a tough battle, just like the first 3 have been. It's not going to be anything different. So, our kids understand that. We talk about us more than we talk about them. We got to do the things that we can do to get stops or to score points, and the things that we have to work on. But yeah, I mean, they're going to run the slot to you. They're going to run the ball downhill at us, and so we got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game over there, Coach. I'll tell you that's for sure. But before I let you get out of here today, I wanted to talk a little bit about some softball or some volleyball, because we're going to be over there for the next couple of weeks. And Coach Rupp has got them girls looking really, really good. I mean, she got Carlisle coming on Tuesday or tomorrow, where we'll be there. St. Augustine coming in there next week. So some really great games coming up there. I tell you what, Coach Rupp and the Lady Dragons are looking pretty good right now.
They are, trying to get it fine-tuned right before we get in the district. And we have several seniors back on that team, people getting healthy. And so just real proud of what they're doing on the court, and that's what we talk about, with everybody is when we got that logo on, we want to represent our school, our community really well. And so, that's what they're doing for us, and we're proud of them.
Yeah, definitely, and I like it too. I found out that her sister helps her out down there, and that's really cool. And they're keeping it family, and the girls really seem to really take the coach up, and I mean they have a good time out there too. And she's a good disciplinarian and a good coach out there. After watching her, I mean I like to watch her coach because the girls have a lot of respect for her, and she knows what she's doing out there, and they play for her.
Oh, no doubt. She does a great job for us, and that's something that she came over last year and took the volleyball role on, and it's something a little bit new for her, but she dove right in, not hesitant, and went to work. But I think her demeanor and the way that she demands attention and does those things that help us be successful. I think that's one thing that's really big, and then having the dynamic with her sister over there. And it's fun to watch them work, because you would never know that they're sisters the way they work together. And so I think they have a good dynamic going, and I think that's what helps.
Right. Well, I'll tell you real quick too, Coach. Some of your assistant coaches out there, how's those guys getting on with the season? I know you had 1 or 2 that coming in over here, but I mean, it looks like everybody's got it in gelling together here. The coaches are all good.
Oh yeah, man. We have a great staff, and I think the biggest thing is the relationship that we have. Everybody feels a part. It's one big family, and that's the way that we want it to be. And Coach Murray's been on the staff for a while, coming over and coaching football with us this year, and kind of learning the ins and outs and that, and just not being hesitant. Like I said, watching film, wanting to learn, asking questions, and doing those things. And then Coach Harrington is the new guy on staff that, you know, I've known several people that he's worked for, and so kind of had a previous relationship with him a little bit, knowing who he was, and you know the people that he worked for and the guys he hung out with, kind of the same circle, you know, a little extended, but him coming in and just being a part, and again, you know, it's another guy that's tied into the family, and he's in the circle, and so just working hard and adapting to us 2A from 4A Lumberton, and I think that he's done a great job for us.
All right. Well, that's awesome, Coach. Glad to hear that everything's going on there. And I do know that they're going to be on Mount Enterprise this Friday, and then you'll be in Carlisle next Friday.
Next Thursday. Carlisle,
next Thursday in Carlisle. Now, I know it'll be on NetSN. I won't be there to call it, but I know it'll be on NetSN, that Carlisle game. So the Shelbyville fans can watch it there. That's for sure. And then I'll get back down. I know I got some Shelbyville games coming up, and I'm looking forward to it because we're going to a lot of games on the way. And then once we get into October,
it's tough, man. Our district.
This district, Coach. I think Coach Barnes said the district of doom.
It is. It's really tough. I think it's probably the toughest 2A district in the state of Texas from top to bottom. You know, you have several really good teams with really special athletes, and any given Friday night, any one of those teams can win a football game. And so it's something you just got to be really focused. There's a lot of districts out there that are top heavy. You know, those guys can go into games and knowing that they got a really good chance to win a football game, and we don't get to take that deep breath down there. You know, every single week is a grind, and man, it's going to be exciting for the fans. It's going to be tough for the coaches. You know, one of those deals. And so we're just, man, again, taking it one game at a time, trying to keep our head down and keep working.
There you go. All right, real quick question here. Your college team win and your win over the weekend? Or I've never asked you if you were.
So we've been my grandparents went to A&M, so we've always been A&M fans.
Gig 'em.
You know,
Thank you.
It's a tough life. You know, you got to learn to live with 8-4. Hopefully, we can turn the corner at some point. But
we made a quarterback change though.
And then well, the quarterback was hurt. Wayman was hurt, and so you know, bring in Reed, and he really athletic and able to do some things that Wayman couldn't do, and I still think Wayman's a pretty good quarterback. You know, I think getting used to the system and the new OC, getting used to him, you know, getting him in rhythm and doing things to really get him firing on all cylinders, you know. And then been a Texans fan. My grandpa was a big Oilers fan. They went to Tennessee, and so jumped on the Texans bandwagon and kind of been with it ever since. But just like to watch. My biggest thing is liking to watch coaches. You know, a big A&M fan, but I love watching Sarkisian's offense and love watching some different things. Just see how people do stuff differently, and like to watch Washington State. Kind of got a tie to Canadian Texas and their offensive coordinators from Canadian, and so it's fun to watch different guys, you know, dial it up and call some stuff different.
Right. Yeah, so the college game is good, and then you know, Texans win and the Aggies win over the weekend, so it's all good. Can't say that about the Cowboys. That's all right. But the Longhorns won too, I guess is good, and the Astros are winning really good. So you know, I know that you know, there's a really good, nice gentleman over there in Shelbyville who's a very big Rangers fan. But I won't say who that is. But you know, he calls a lot of the PA there for the baseball. You know, so but you know, I know he's a little upset that his team's down a little bit, but you know, the Astros are probably going to win the West. Brother Rob, it'll be okay.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. But
yes, he is. I love Rob.
I've been an Astros fan since I could crawl. I mean, it's kind of what our family was, and you know, there was a very long time where we weren't very good.
Yes, yeah, we've been through them lean years.
I still was an Astros fan. One of my buddies called me when we won the World Series. Said, "Congratulations, man!" You know, just because. You know, all those hard years of going through the tough times.
Exactly. I thought for sure once we got Randy Johnson that one year, we were going to win the whole thing.
Had a chance.
Yeah, I really did.
Had a chance. One of the best guys to ever do it.
Yeah,
Look at the legend, Coach Meeks, walking in.
All right. Well, that means that we got to get ready for their show. All right, Coach. Good luck to you and the guys. Another great win, and we'll see you guys here in the next week or so. But we'll give you one before we go.
That's it, baby. Go Dragons.
There you go. All right, we're going to get out of here for the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. We'll see you back next week. Tomorrow night in Shelbyville for volleyball. Friday night in San Augustine for football. Saturday in Tenaha for football. A crazy week, and Rick Meek Show's coming up, so switch over to the new link. We're out of here, folks. Bye-bye.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. Then come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods. Happy Tales Adoption Center is now the animal shelter of Shelby County, and their promise and mission is to improve and protect the lives of animals in our community and to alleviate their suffering and abuse. Every week during the ball game, you'll have a Happy Tales Adoption Center Minute, where we will feature a couple of the wonderful animals up for adoption at Happy Tales Adoption Center. Also remind everyone how you can donate and become a foster or even volunteer if you have the opportunity. It's Happy Tales Adoption Center, the animal shelter of Shelby County, just east of Center. My name is Sparkles. I'm 2 years old and weigh 27 pounds. I'm a Catahoula mix and a little on the small side. I love playing, especially with kids. My name is Izzy. I'm 3 years old and I was what they called a city dog. But after 5 weeks, I have all my hair back, I'm super healthy, and I love people. These dogs, plus many other animals, are available for adoption at Happy Tales Adoption Center, the animal shelter of Shelby County. The proceeding was a presentation of Watlington, Shires, and Pierce Productions. We hope you have an awesome and blessed night. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.